Grab your glasses, everybody. It's time for a Moonshine Safari. Welcome, everybody, from Moonshine Safari Studios. You have reached Moonshine Safari with Josh
and Dina.
Thank you so much for showing up today. We appreciate it. Hey, this is episode 18.
I can't believe we've gotten there that fast. That's
18.
fast. 18.
So
it's reached adulthood.
It has. And in some other interesting things.
You can vote.
You can. If any of you are interested in like religious kind of things, and you can take this or leave this. The Hebrew word chai, which means life, there's this, and some of you may know this, there's a numerology connected to Hebrew letters. So each Hebrew letter has a value, a numerical value. So the word chai actually equals 18.
18 for life.
So moonshine is life today.
Moonshine is life.
Moonshine is life. How you like that, Dina?
Moonshine Safari has reached.
Are you impressed
status.
that I'm hooked that in there? You should.
That you combined those two things. Some people would actually not be, but
I just heard everybody roll their eyes. Okay, so thank you for letting me do that. Hey, this is the time where we like to do our shout outs, and we have some today. Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to Susan Hargrove and to Sammy Lipton and Melinda Doro. Hey, if I mispronounced any of your names, I'm really sorry, but these are the names that we saw of people who have been following us and some
liking
of our
content. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and our social content. So
huge
whether that be SoundCloud or YouTube or Facebook or
Twitter,
or Patreon,
Instagram.
Any of those places, it'd be great if you guys could go there and click on and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Hey, that'd be awesome. Also, when you go there, leave us a little message and stuff, and then we can communicate and do that kind of thing. So we really thank you. Also, we'd like to give a shout out to Chandler Center of the Arts in Chandler, Arizona. Oh my goodness, what a great place!
Little venue.
A beautiful venue, and oh my goodness, the people that are so helpful, so nice. So accommodating. Everything is amazing. So, and I think those of you who listened to episode 17 know where we're heading, because next segment is the music. That's exactly where we were on Friday night. And we're going to talk about that coming up. And one other shout out, which is also connected to our next segment. I'd like to give a shout out to Travis Tritt. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was amazing. But stay tuned. We're going to talk about that in more detail coming up, okay? So, welcome to Moonshine Safari, everybody. Episode 18. Thanks you for
everybody.
stopping by. We'll keep things going, so hang tight.
What's Josh listening to?
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, we are so grateful that you're here today. Thank you so much. And I hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, that sucks, because we have bad days too.
Make it a little bit better, though.
Maybe this will make it a little better.
Relax a little.
Right, exactly. But we all have sucky days, and we hate that. But you know what? That just makes us more grateful for the good days. It really does. So, hey, speaking of good days, this is a good day for us, because we get to record our podcast, which we like to do, and we get to talk about something that we love, which is music. And this is the segment of our podcast where we like to discuss about what we're listening to this week, right?
Yep.
So what are we listening to? Well, if you listened to last week and you also just listened to the previous segment, you kind of know what we were up to this week, right?
Right.
So, Dana, where were we Friday night?
We had the opportunity to go out to Chandler Center for the Arts and see Travis Tritt in concert with his single-man acoustic concert.
Man.
And it was fantastic.
Dana, tell the wonderful people out there the seats that you procured for us.
Well, we kind of had known about him coming in concert, and then kind of slipped our mind at one point, and then when we decided to go ahead and buy tickets, we were kind of getting into the game a little bit late. And so honestly, when I first decided to call, I wasn't even sure I was going to get any. And I'm sure this is something we'll get into later on as we go through our podcast and all of our story and all that. But I do have some mobility issues, And so whenever I make concert tickets, I need to call usually and make those in person because I need to make sure I have handicap accessible tickets. So I called, and it turned out that at first, she was like, I don't know if we're going to have any together, because we needed 4 because Robin and Del Toro were going to go with us. So she wasn't sure that she was going to have any together, and she came back on the line and said, I have 2 and 2. They're right behind each other. And I said, great. And so let's do it. We were center rows. Well, center section, I should say. First and second row. So it was
a little
fantastic.
Okay. We as you face the stage, okay, and the stage was not a very high stage. What was it? Maybe 3 feet tall. The stage itself. It wasn't a very tall stage, but
yeah, I mean,
and he was back there a bit, so you really couldn't like get to him or anything like that. But he was. We were about. We were about 8 feet from the stage, and we were in the front row. The stage was only 3 feet tall. He was probably another 10 or 15 feet back from the stage. So he was probably, like 30 feet from us?
With nobody in between.
Right. Just him and his guitars.
Right.
Oh. Okay. You guys go to Moonshine Safari Instagram page, and you can see
a couple pictures that we uploaded.
Also,
absolutely.
If you want to go to my personal Cantankerous _Josh, yeah, we've talked about that. Cantankerous Josh. I have some on my Instagram page too of his 2 wonderful guitars, and yes, I'm a guitar geek, and he has custom Martin HD C40 guitars that are his specs, and they're amazing, and I wanted to play them.
Josh was volunteering to tune them for him.
Oh, I was drooling over them when we walked in, and they're just sitting up there by themselves. I'm like, oh, they look lonely. I think they need to be played. Someone needs to. But oh my gosh, the concert was amazing. Amazing
for sure. I mean, he did really quite a few of his old songs that everybody had gotten to like when he got to be really big back in the late 80s, early 90s. He did some stuff that was reminiscent of some bands that he likes. In fact, he did a Beatles cover that was great. There was just nothing bad I can say about that concert.
Hank Williams Jr. he did.
A lot of storytelling, which was nice.
Oh, the stories were really cool. And it was a very intimate type of thing. And it felt that way. I'd seen him once before. In fact, Dean and I were talking about the concerts that we've seen, and we haven't seen very many. This is the only guy I've ever seen twice. I saw him when I worked for a company way back in years ago, and they contracted him to play a private concert in Nashville when we had a corporate get together there in Nashville. And it was you just walk right up to the stage. He was standing right there. It was amazing, and I was a big fan.
Was it just him, or was it with him with his band?
It was with a band.
Okay.
He was with a band. No, he was with a band, and he had the long hair and everything. And just like if you watch Country Club, watch the video, and it was just like that. And I was telling Dina too. It's like one of the first songs, the first song I ever learned to play from him. I went to Garber Music over in Mesa. That's not what it is anymore. There's still a music store over there, but it's not called Garber's, I don't think. And it was just sheet music for "Help Me Hold On."
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that. There was okay. I was not disappointed. He did a 2.5 hour show, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to be disappointed. There was no intermission.
And no intermission.
He just went straight.
Yeah.
I mean, he would stop. He would tell a story. Then he would do a couple songs, and it was just great.
But okay, he did at least 19 or 20 songs. Came out for an encore, and it was the only thing I'll just say this: the only thing I was just a wee tiny bit disappointed in is he didn't play "Take It Easy." That was the only thing that I wish he would have done.
Well, we may have mentioned this or not before. I don't know, but I don't know how many people know that he was actually instrumental in bringing the Eagles back together, because that was the song. They did the video. They did it all together. That was the first time they had performed together since the breakup, and it is what spurred them into getting back together. So it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But he did not do that one. But still, nevertheless, it was an amazing concert.
I was hoping because we had seen the Eagles just a few months ago, right?
Right.
So we just seen the Eagles Eagles recently, and I was hoping, wow, wouldn't this just make it like
full circle?
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen some great concerts
We
this year.
have.
I mean, we've really
Certainly.
been fortunate and seen some great stuff this year. Now, was Joan Jett this year? Or was
Yeah, no, it was this year.
Yeah, we've seen some cool stuff this year. All right, everybody. So Travis Tritt, man, what can I say? I mean, he's a legend. You go down, you check him out. Go everywhere. He's still playing. Okay, and he says he's still touring with his band. But if you ever get the chance of just to see just him and his guitar, okay, that is a treat.
Oh no, it was awesome.
And I never knew how really, I would say, and wouldn't even say great a guitar player he is. Because in the day when I used to watch him and I liked his songs, he's standing up in the videos. He's not playing music. I mean, he's not playing his guitar. He's just like strumming, because that's not the point of the video, right? You don't see that. But when he's there on stage and he's singing, and those of you who've ever seen Travis Tritt in concert know that boy makes some faces when he sings.
Yeah, he does. You don't see those on the video.
Oh, Lord, he looks like he's in some pain, but it makes it happen. I mean, it really works. But when he plays, the dude's got chops. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He really has some chops. And so that's why I gave him a shout out. Like I said, I'm a guitar geek, and I don't know how many times I probably ruined a lot of Dina's videos because I was going, yes, sir, and I was yelling, like, uh-huh, and I was going, ooh, when I was watching him play those licks, man, because it was like, it was hitting me.
Actually, I didn't take video because I didn't think that we were supposed to. I just took pictures.
Oh, I thought you did. Because I was like, oh, man, seriously, there were some things in there that he was just, whew. It was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. All right, guys. So if you haven't ever checked out Travis Tritt, check him out. He's kind of like, when he's got some full blown, redneck country stuff. He's got some blues stuff. He's got some crossover kind of stuff too, and he's got some hard driving southern rock stuff, which I really like too. So that's why I like him. I think, and he's just pretty much straightforward and out there. So he's a kind of a cool guy. But yeah, check him out. So Travis Tritt. All right, coming up, guys, we're gonna tickle your funny bone for the week. Hold tight. Hey, everybody. Dina asked me this week. She says, Josh, what is the difference between love and marriage? I thought for a minute. I said, love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener.
Get ready to get your bridges in a bunch. It's time for Peeve of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, and this is our Peeve of the Week. And we're going to make it short and simple here. Here's the Peeve of the Week. My freaking computer died today, and I'm peeved.
Yeah.
My business computer just freaking...
Which also brings back to pro tip of backups.
That's where we're coming up to. Hang tight. Pro tip of the week.
Get out your notepads. It's time for Pro Tip of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, wasn't that a great transition? Hey, this is Pro Tip of the Week. And Pro Tip of the Week is what, Dina?
Do your backups.
Do your backups, everybody.
Shh. Quiet and listen. It's time for Marriage Story of the Week.
All right, you're back at Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
That's Dina over there. How you doing, Dina?
I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm doing pretty freaking good, actually. But I don't have another drink tonight.
I'm going to have some butterbeer later.
It makes me a little depressed. Though there's some this delicious moonshine that I don't think we've talked about yet.
I don't think we have, because
and we're not going to talk about it tonight. But there's some stuff here from Tempe, Arizona. There, if you look it up, just Google moonshine in Tempe, Arizona, and you might find some. And I might just hold on. I'm just going to take a swig out of the freaking bottle. Listen. Did you hear that?
There it goes. And that was the real thing.
That's the real thing. Ready? Hold on. Woo! That's some tasty stuff, man.
crazy. You're crazy.
Handcrafted grain to bottle.
Okay, guys, that's where Josh does better than me.
Yum.
I need some, I don't know, Kool-Aid or something in there.
That'll burn the hair off your tongue.
Yeah, it will.
All right. Hey. Where are we?
To the story.
Story. That's where we are. Sorry, everybody. I was just lost in the amazing flavors of this beverage that I just took a snort of. So, last time, if you listened, we spoke about Dina basically being an oven for her sister and her brother-in-law.
For their bun.
For their 100% their bun, right? And when we ended up is like, we told you that, we thought everything was cool. We met with the doctors. Everything was cool and everything was that. And then we got hit in the face with this thing. And this is where I'm going to give it to Dina and let her tell you the story. And so make sure that you include all the law stuff, the Lisa show and all that fun stuff, what you did. And all the local TV shows that you were on, or news shows, because we were on some, I even was too. And even Robin when she was just a little squirt.
Yeah. Well, about 6 weeks, we just thought everything was fine. And like I said, the doctor's office had assured us that we should be able to go to court, no problem, get a court order that put my sister's name and her husband's name on the birth certificate for their son. I think it's important to keep saying their son because biologically, he was not related to me in any way, shape, or form.
But legally, Arizona wanted to make him our son.
But legally, because, back in the day, you could assume that if a woman was carrying a child, it had to be hers. The thing is, that's not where we were anymore with modern technology. And so Arizona never caught up to that. Also, because I had been married for more than 10 months, they would want my husband's name as the legal father on the birth certificate. So really, legally, my sister and her husband would have zero claim to their child, which was a scary thought.
Exactly.
And I never wanted it to look like I got pregnant, decided I didn't want to keep the baby, and gave it to my sister. I never wanted that to be the paper trail for my nephew. So that was a concern to me, but my sister started trying to get the legal stuff ready, and I was about 6 weeks from my due date when we were told, that those theoretical things we could do to get the court order didn't exist. That wasn't a thing. And she called me, and she's worried, and of course I'm not happy. And I said, well, I don't accept this. You can't just say it can't be done. There has to be a way to do it, and let's figure it out. So I started making some phone calls, ended up talking to the newspaper and the local news TV shows, regular nighttime news in the area, and started getting some people calling me for interviews about this stuff, and had several interviews while I was pregnant. Obviously, Josh was there. My sister was there.
Mm-hmm.
The baby was there in me, but he was
right.
there. And ended up getting a call from a woman who found us because she saw us on the news. And she had gone through this exact thing and said that she had to go through all the legal wrangling to adopt her own child. And she was very well off. And we were fine at the time, but we're middle-class people. We're not endless reserves people. And she had significant reserves. I'll just say it like that. And she was super, super wonderful and nice and helpful and wanted to pay for our legal expenses to get this done because her hope was that we would establish a precedent. And my hope was that not only would we establish a precedent, but that we would go on into the legislature and maybe even create a law that would govern these types of births because they're more and more and more and more common all the time. And this was like, let's see. So Robin was born in, so this was 96.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's been a while already, but,
a little while.
So we ended up getting an attorney who had actually just had her license for not very long. She was actually probably old enough to be, well, she was older even than my sister. I'll just say it like that. She's not new out of law school like 24. She was new out of law school like she had her family and then went back, kind of a thing. And she was into family law and said, I'll take the case and I'll give it a shot. And she went to court for us. During all of this, we were also getting a couple of offers from some national talk shows. We got an offer from The Lisa Show, which I don't know if you guys remember Lisa Gibbons. She was one of the like hosts or whatever of Entertainment Tonight back in the day. And then she had her own talk show during the time that freaking everybody had a talk show.
Right.
And so, anyway, we went into court and we had to talk about who was gonna bring the lawsuit. And so it was determined that my sister would sue me, even though, of course, there was no. It's silly to say it that way in the sense that there was no animosity, there was no anger. It was all about trying to get this done.
It was just setting the legal
right. We had to create a case.
Yep.
And in order to do that, somebody had to sue somebody. So she was suing me for custody of her son, which I still think is amazing to even say that. But anyway, and we managed to get into court with not a whole lot of time to spare and got in front of the perfect judge. And if you believe in providence, this is one of those things where you go, the heavens opened up and it just worked out the perfect way, because this particular judge had fertility issues of his own with his wife. And so he understood what we were dealing with and ruled in our favor and put my sister's name and her husband's name on the birth certificate where, let me just say this again, it belonged, because this is their son. And, basically set a precedent for us. Now, we did attempt to go into the legislature and get some laws written, and we're actually told that, this doesn't really happen in Arizona, so there was no need for one, which the fact that we had a court case for it was kind of the antithesis of what they were trying to say. However, the precedent did what we needed it to do, because people could refer back to that and say, see, it's already happened. And as people know or may not know, when it comes to courts and stuff like that, once you set the precedent, in some senses, that has the effect of creating law.
Right, but we know that, but constitutionally, those of you who are like me go, that's bullshit. But anyway, yes, I get it. But it serves its purpose.
But it did it what we needed to do.
Yes.
And then few weeks later, here comes my, at the time, little nephew, who is now 6'5".
Oh my gosh.
And,
the giant, huge freaking...
Going on 22 years old.
And he's not like 6'5" and skinny. He's like 6'5" and built and muscular and like athletic and plays basketball. He's a beast.
Big hulking kid.
He's a beast.
Looks like his dad.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
totally.
Looks like my sister as well.
There's no looks like his dad acts like his mom.
There's no denying whose child this is. So
exactly.
And it's not like there was never a moment in time at which I thought, oh, I can't give away my baby. He was never mine to give.
Right.
And
he knows.
And he knows.
Actually,
Robin told him. Because
Robin spilled it to her when
Robin was little, and she, little kids will say things, and she knew, and she said, she told him one time, you were in my mom's tummy, and he, anyone who knows my nephew knows that he's a thinker, and he didn't say anything right then, but he went home and asked his mom, which is what he does, and she called me up, and she was kind of laughing because she had always intended to tell him.
Right.
It was never going to be
trying to hold it.
But he was just a little kid. But he was just little, right?
Little.
How do you explain that? And so she said, well, I guess I don't really have to now.
There you go.
Robin spilled the beans.
Robin has a big mouth.
Yeah. We went on the Lisa show, and they interviewed us for that. The Geraldo show had called, but we were already under contract with the Lisa show, which, I didn't know anything about any of this stuff at the time. So we just did the one. But
we were also on a lot of local TV
news
shows interviewed by, what's that, the lady way back in it? Diane.
Yeah, Diane Riley?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think you're Diane Riley. I think that's it. Yeah, she came to the house. I remember that.
Yeah.
And, she was very nice. And everybody that came was very nice. And they were always very, interesting. And it was really helpful in getting.
It got the attention that we needed to get the court that we needed to get everything set in advance. And like I said, now there's no paper trail. The only thing that was weird is after my nephew was born, we were at the hospital, and even though my sister's name was on the birth certificate, I had to sign him out to her.
Right.
It was because they didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to do it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, how would they?
It was,
how would they know how to do it?
It's
it was
just one of those things that you
situation.
go through with your family. I'm glad he's here. Everyone's glad he's here. You can't imagine him not being here. And
he is special to us because, and I told him, it's like, he lived with us for 9 months. He lived with us. Yeah. We made time in our life for him to help have him created and a place for him to be so he could form and now be who he is. So he will always be very special to us.
He's a good kid, and he's a smart kid.
He's a good kid, yeah.
And what's funny is that he was actually born on his older brother's birthday.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's right. His older half-brother's birthday.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right, well, we're going to end it there. Don't you think that's a good place to take it?
I think that works for me.
Take a break. All right. So, thanks for listening, everybody. Coming up, Moonshine Safari. Hey, what are we drinking? Hold tight.
Get out your glasses. It's time for the Moonshine Safari drinks and recipes.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. That's Dina.
I'm Dina. And that's Josh.
I'm Josh.
I didn't know if you wanted to say it, if you wanted me to say
no,
it.
it's fine. I was just
confused.
waiting for you to. No, that's fine. It's good. I'm always throwing curveballs at her all the time. Hey, this is the segment where we have gone on a Moonshine Safari. And we've come back with something good.
We actually went to the place that we've gotten delivery from
We
before.
did.
We did.
We went to Sun Devil Liquors.
Sun Devil Liquors.
We did. And it was a safari. We'll just leave it at that. We found some stuff.
It's Josh's favorite kind of safari, guys.
We found some stuff. But that's not really what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about, because we're like post-Halloween. And, okay, everybody, I know you guys might like Halloween. I hate Halloween, but that's just me. You guys can love it. I don't care. Love it. Do it all you want till your costumes burst into flames. I don't care. But it's just not something I like, okay? But Robin had the idea of making some candy corn shine.
Yes, she did.
So she, in all of her infinite wisdom, took some of the wonderful Old Smoky White Lightning, like we've used in the past for some of our other concoctions, and she placed some candy corn. But this candy corn, okay, so I don't know. We get candy corn. We don't like the gelatin and stuff that's put in it. So we kind of
get it from Sprouts usually, and
try and get it that way.
It's got a little bit less of this junk.
Yeah. So anyway, and plus it's better. Okay, the more natural candy, if you're going to dissolve something
it
into
dissolves better, absolutely, because
you don't want
there's
a
not
lot
of the weird wax coating.
Exactly, the waxes, and then you have to, you have to filter it out, and then God only knows whatever kind of chemicals or how it's going to react with alcohol. So the more natural candies you can get. So we got this from Sprouts, the candy corn. So she put those in there and melted them. They melted pretty fast. Okay, the color is gorgeous. It's the most beautiful orange color that you can imagine. Even to me, a brighter and more beautiful orange than Old Smoky's orange moonshine, personally. But the taste, whew. Okay, anybody who eats candy corn, I can only to me, one piece of candy corn a year is
absolutely
all you ever need in your lifetime. To me, that's the sweetest candy I have ever eaten in my life. And it's just, and once you eat one piece, that's it. I get the spits. And I have the spits all day in the back. I say spits because it feels like, the back of my throat's coated with sugar and whatever the hell else is in there. But the shine, so sweet. Oh, my goodness. So you guys want to try that? Take some candy corn, dissolve it in some of that Old Smoky shine, and it's called the Moonshine Safari Candy Corn Shine. And that's what we have for you this week, everybody. Dana, you got anything else for these wonderful folks?
No. about to try some butterbeer, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, just a reminder, hey, thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe, go to all of our places, please. You know, all that good stuff. If you want something or a shout out, or you have any type of suggestion for a drink or something you would like for us to try, maybe a moonshine or something.
And then we'll review it for you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We would love to do that. And if you have any suggestions. So please do that. And we look forward to next week. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in.
Surrogacy stories. We'd like to hear those too.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. Absolutely. So thanks so much for tuning in.
Thanks all.
We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Shine happens, y'all.
Hey y'all, welcome to Moonshine Safari. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as well as check the description for information on our social media sites, as well as our Patreon account to help support our adventures in the Moonshine Wilderness.